The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original eSport racing game. This is iRacing.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Dirt Racing Network and our live coverage of the Netcode ESports Mighty Midget Series. Charlotte, the dirt track at Charlotte, on tap for us tonight. Got about 13 drivers, should be a quick one. Double features. These guys do double features every single week, so we'll make sure that they continue that trend for you. And if they don't, I'll go have a talk with the powers that be down there. I kid. It's going to be a fun one. Just about 3.5 minutes left in the practice session. Hoping to see a couple more drivers pop in here. The old standbys. Colton Snyder, Craig Silby. You see Tebow, Brandon sweeping last week's both events at Lanier. We'll see if he can make it 3 in a row, or can maybe Craig Silby get back to his winning ways. He swept the week before. Can a new driver come in? Put a sweep on. I tell you, Dalton Schrumm's been very close both weeks. The second and the third, and in podiums in 3 of those 4 races. And he is looking to break through and at least pick up a win, if not maybe sweep tonight. So we'll see if the broom stays in operation, and if it is, whose hands it is when we get to the end of both features this evening. Big, wide, fast track. These midgets really getting wrapped out here, right up against the chip. So Definitely going to be a fun one. Do not be afraid to say hi in the chat. Let us know where you're watching from. If we go away for some reason, as we've got some weather in the area, it won't take us very long to get back. And actually, I'm hoping the only thing I lose is my monitors for just a moment or two, because I think all the computers are on the battery backup. So if I lose my sight, you guys will still be able to hear, hopefully, and everything will be good. I think everything's going to go south and east of us, but you never know. Crazy spring weather. Mother Nature's drunk right now, I think. She doesn't know what temperature she wants it to be, and she doesn't have any idea if she wants it to rain, sleet, snow, hail. So just under 60 seconds, these guys will qualify. They will run heats in the first session, and then they will run their feature. Then we'll have 2 semi-features in the second session and go straight to feature number 2. All right, gonna wind it down. Drivers will clear off. We'll get ready for the qualifying session. They do invert just to shake things up in the first session. They will redraw for the pole when we get ready to run the first feature, but the second feature will be however they come out of those semis, that's how they will run. Or line up, I mean, in feature number 2. The first semi-feature is the inside row. The second semi-feature will be the outside row. But qualifying on the track. Well, we'll see. We were watching Billy Barros a little bit right there. So let's go watch Colton Snyder. Snyder, the 24 machine. It's been pretty fast the last couple of weeks, just not able to close things out and get on the podium. So he goes on the clock for lap number 1. Go watch after the first lap here from Snyder. We'll go watch last week's feature. The winner, Tebow Brandon here. First lap, he come through for Snyder. 16:43. Brandon 16:47, and Gerlach 16:49. Dalton Schrum 16:54. There, Craig Silby almost tied it up. 16:44, almost a 45 for him. And Brandon slower on lap 2. Let's see if Silby gets quicker or slower. He did slow down to a 47 for lap 2. So pretty consistent, but he did slow down. It looks like Colton Snyder has a shot to be quick time for the evening. David Krikorian on his second lap. That car way out of shape out of 2. I don't think that's going to make him go faster for sure. And it does not. Slows down quite a bit. Andrew Smith now on track, and he's got the same problem in turn 2 that David Krikorian had. That right rear just getting a little bit out of the groove. Only DL Lemon not posting the time right now there. Went Smith. That should do it for qualifying. He was 10th quick. We'll get ready to look at the starting lineup. For heat racer number 1. They're going to line up like this. David Krikorian, we watched him on his second lap. He drives a 66 car. He'll start on pole for heat number 1. And he'll have Billy Barros in the 38 car on his outside. It'll be Thibaut Brennan, last week's feature double winner. The 49 machine inside row number 2. Next to your quick qualifier for the evening in the 24, Colton Snyder. And Robert Lynn will start the 2 machine inside that third row back there. And he'll have Colt Collins in the 94 on his outside. And your 7th and final starter will be DL Lemon in. It says 08 on it now. It's usually 14. Tonight it's the 08. So Krikorian gets to the grid and he'll put the 66 car out there on the pole, ready to go green. This time out of turn number 4. The alwaysraceday.com.
Green flag,
Netcode ESports Mighty Midget Series were underway here in Charlotte. Krikorian leading them through 1 and 2. Brandon jumped from the inside of that second row to grab second away. And here comes Robert Lynn. Lynn side by side with Barros. Barros able to work the high side, use a little momentum. Escapes the clutches 4 now, and I think Colton Snyder's going to have something to say about that. He's working the outside of that 2 car now. Battle for the lead at the front. Brandon stuck his nose out in front for a second, but Krikorian right back to it. Now, Brandon tried to use the slider line to get up in front of Krikorian with just too much momentum out of the 66. I think this time you might see, well, I thought we'd see the right rear come up the hill a little farther. It did not. We're down to 5 to go. Krikorian, Brandon, Barros, Snyder, Lynn, Collins, and Lemon. The battle right now for the front. Here comes Billy Barros. Barros now trying to make this a 3-car battle for the lead. Still side by side. Krikorian right through the middle at both ends of the track. 3 to go this time. That time I thought the right rear was coming a lot further up the hill too, and it didn't happen. So I don't know when Brandon is going to try to slam the door, but Krikorian using that upper lane, really getting good runs here. Snyder now worked his way around and into third with 2 to go. We could have a 3-car battle for the top spot in heat number 1. Out of 3 and 4. And this time it's Krikorian to the white flag. Brandon now started to fall back, and he's in the clutches of Colton Snyder. Snyder with the crossover line. Drops it to the bottom, goes into 3 and 4. Slider coming. Krikorian's going to win it. Who's going to have second? Snyder at the line, then Brandon, Barros, Lynn, Collins, and Lemon. So we'll get ready for heat number 2. They'll start like this. It'll be the 00 of Old Tripod. Don Runkle on the pole. And then Dalton Schrum will start to his inside. Or to his outside, excuse me. Outside that front row. It'll be Josh Gerlach, the 71 on the inside of row number 2, next to Craig Silby. Silby, the Kiwi Conqueror in the 7. And your final row inside the 33, Andrew Smith. Outside, Kirk Vincent, the 42 car. All 6 cars have made the call. Pace truck heads in. Back row looking just a little wonky.
Green flag, green flag.
Green flag. Side by side. Down the back stretch, 2 wide, 2 deep. Who's going to lead the first lap? It looks like Schrum going to assert himself. Used to seeing that car in black and red tonight. In black and green. Different paint on that machine. We'll see if he can break his bad luck of not being at the top of the podium and maybe pick up a win. When things are working and you're trying to win a points championship, I think I keep things the same, but that's just me. Drum out in front. Sylvie's worked his way to second, trying to run the 8 car down. Sylvie trying to use the slider line in 1 and 2. Now cuts it down low in 3 and 4. Stays there, pulled alongside briefly, but he did close the gap a couple of car lengths. Just getting closer and closer, but he's got to check up so much. He's losing a lot of ground when he comes out of the corners. 3 to go this time by. Schrum, Sylvie, Gerlach, Vincent, both Runkle and Smith have already rolled to the infield. So those 4 cars right there, the only cars on the track. We're going to get 2 to go right here. Still Dalton Schrum, and he's starting to get away from Craig Silby now. Silby was making headway and closing in. Maybe going to challenge to take the lead away. And now Schrum, smooth, consistent, starting to inch away. White flag for Dalton Schrum. Looks like heat 2 going to go to Schrum. Sylvia will be second, then Gerlach, Vincent, Runkle, and Smith. As we wind things up. Guys will probably take a couple of minutes to practice if they do. Maybe we will talk to one of them and see what they think the chances are for them to get on top of the podium tonight. Just wait to see drivers start to roll out. Mr. Brandon.
How are you, sir?
I'm good. How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing fantastic.
Well, you've been out for heats. What are we looking at for our feature tonight? Are we going to keep the string going, or are we going 3 for 3?
Well, I'm gonna go for it. Obviously, I want to make that happen. But it's a smaller field than we normally have, but it's still a tough group. You know, the heat races proved that. I was fighting my way for that lead, and then I even dropped a spot. So this is a tough group. I want to come back through as far as I can. I'm shooting for a top 5.
How is the track? Are we going to see 2 lanes of racing, do you think, or are we starting to get to that single groove type of feel out there?
It's tough to know. If I have to speculate, it'll go back down to the bottom a little bit. But we will see. That's what I think is going to happen. That's what I'm going to shoot to start doing. But I'll be starting in the back, so that'll be a challenge to pass a lot of cars. I'm just going to have to go where they're not. So.
All right. Well, we appreciate you taking the time to stop in and chat with us. Good luck out there. Maybe we'll get a chance to talk to you 3 for 3 tonight.
That would be great, Roger. I appreciate it.
All right, T-Bo Brandon, ladies and gentlemen. Whoops, having a chat with us before he goes out for a little warm up and gets out there for the feature. Old Dalton Schrum down here, maybe practicing his donuts a little prematurely. You never know. He's going to have to contend with the 49 car, the 7 car, the 71 car. So a lot of things going on that he may have to contend with, but we'll see at the end. I just found out that in the second session, we are just going to go straight to the feature with a randomized start because we have the small field. So they will 100% randomize the start and let them rip. So let's get down here and get ready to go through the starting lineup for our first 30-lap A-main tonight. And they will roll off and shift this up a little bit, but it's Krikorian and Shrum showing to be in row 1, then Snyder and Silby row 2, Brandon and Gerlach row 3, Barros and Vincent in row 4, Lynn and Runkle row 5, and then Collins and Smith in row 6. DL Lemon will join the back of the field. They'll randomize this real quick. We'll pay attention here. We'll see who is going to go where. Because it looks to me like Snyder has jumped to the outside of the front row next to Craig Silby. Then Shrum and Krikorian. Then it's Barros. And I believe that is the 71 machine of Josh Gerlach on his outside. Robert Lynn and Kurt Vincent going to make up a row number 4. Colt Collins and Don Runkle in row number 5. DL Lemon and Andrew Smith in row 6. And look at that. Hot shoe for the evening and dropping all the way to the back. So he's got a long way to go. 30 laps to get there. But the sweeper from last week, Tebow Brandon, starting shotgun on this 13-car field. We're ready to go green right here. Out of turn number 4. Green flags into the air. Craig Silby got a phenomenal start. Silby into 3 and 4, and he's got a hefty little lead. I do not know why that ticker is showing guys a lap down. They just started this thing, but it is all Silby. See if we can reset it. Caution the first time, Colton Snyder. And Colton Snyder looks to be the 24 car, the car that bites it down the backstretch and dies in turn 4. Yeah, you got a little help there. Found a little bit of the wall, got the car down, got a little more help. Yeah, that's not going to do much for raising your fun meter this evening. So now everybody's back to it. Showing on the lead lap, Colton Snyder, the only car out. Silby, Shrum, Krikorian, Barros, Gerlach, Lynn, Collins, Smith, Vincent, Runkle, Brandon, and Lemon. 2 laps are complete. We're going to be working lap number 3. Still behind the pace vehicle, so at least one more lap around. And Silby drawing the pole for the feature. That's going to be a tall order for some guys to get to him. Once he gets out front, he's usually smooth enough that he can start to inch away from these guys. We'll see. We'll see how he does here, but we're ready to go back to green. Silby in control, finds the throttle. Another good start for him. He's going to have 6, 7 car lengths, 8 car lengths going into 1 and 2, and they're spread out 3 wide behind. Krikorian choosing to go to the top, now moves it down to the middle car, not liking what he's doing right there. He's out of shape. And Gerlach's going to put his nose in the middle between Barros and Krikorian, 3 wide. Now Barros clears Krikorian. Gerlach's to the inside. This is still the battle for the top 5. Silby, Shrum, then Barros. Barros, that 38 car right there in the middle of the screen. Here comes Gerlach with a slider, and it didn't stick. Krikorian back around him, and now Robert Lynn will make a bid to drop himself into the top 5. He can squeak past Gerlach, and he just can't do it in 3 and 4. Smith right behind that, and then Collins Brandon has picked up 4. He's up to the 9th spot. Meanwhile, at the front, Silby, 1.1 seconds out in front. Making it look pretty easy. $16.72 that time. 67 for Shrum. So Shrum starting to chip away. Has picked up a couple of tenths the last 2 laps. Krikorian trying to reel in Shrum. And then Gerlach and Barros going back at it. Gerlach has gotten around Billy Barros and moved himself to 4th. He's going to make a bid to go after 3rd. Pretty smooth right there. Even taking the long way, he's able to maintain the gap. Be 20 laps to go this time, 10 in the books already. Lead starting to level off, about 8 tenths now. Shrum, a little higher than we saw the guys in the heat races, and he cuts it down to the bottom, just not making any headway. We're already getting ready to be on the halfway point. A couple more laps here, about 3 or 4, and it's equalized between your 2 leaders, 1766, 1666 and 1670 respectively for those 2. And now it's 71 to 67 that time by, so pretty equal. Krikorian running about the same lap times. And he's got company. If Gerlach can gain about 2 more car lengths, he'll hear him. Maybe that pressure alone will be enough to cause a mistake. But right now, everybody very smooth, very steady. Not a lot going on out here as everything is up to the high side. Robert Lynn still running in 6th behind Billy Barros, and we go back to Andrew Smith. Tebow Brandon picked up another spot, so move him up 5. He's in 8th. Runkle 9th. Collins 10th. Vincent and Lemon rounding things out. Colton Snyder still on pit road, and that car probably done for feature number 1. Halfway. Silby started on the pole. He's led the whole thing. He's starting to stretch it out again. Had it down around 8 tenths. It's up to almost 1.1 seconds again. Krikorian still hanging on to 3rd. Gerlach cannot close in. Krikorian, the first car to really go down to the bottom and see what's down there. Hasn't changed his lap times. He was fastest the last time around. Let's see where he's at this time. 57 for your leader, 66. And a 62, so second quickest. Everybody kind of staying the same right now. Silby will see 10 to go this time out of 3 and 4, down to 3/4 of a second again. Josh Gerlach fastest on track last lap by about 300s. Gerlach and Krikorian about to be side by side as Gerlach is making that groove 2 lanes up from the very bottom, sort of work down in 3 and 4. Got a little wide, 1 and 2, lost 2 or 3 car lengths. Krikorian right on the very bottom, left front tire dragging the grass. And caution is Don Runkle has had an issue. Let's go watch it. Runkle. Old tripod, the Viagra machine. Let's see what happens to him down here. Got it in there a little hot, backed her up. I don't think he hit anything, but he got so far sideways and traffic was coming. But that's what's going to cause the caution. But I do not believe he touched anything at all on track. So, still, Silby, Schrum, Krikorian, Gerlach, Barlos, the top 5. Lynn, Brandon Smith, Collins, Vincent, Lemon, and now Runkle 12th. Going to be 8 to go. 7 to go when we get the green. 7 to go when we get the green. So, ripping right through feature number 1. Feature number 2 will just be a random draw. The guys will come in. They'll take a few minutes to work the track down a little bit. Random draw. They'll kick them out there for 30 laps. And our night at Charlotte will be over very quickly this evening. Make sure we thank everybody for tuning in. Don't forget to like, share, follow on the Facebook page. Subscribe on YouTube and Twitch. Look for changes. Still working on all that. A lot going on. Green flag back in the air. And Craig Silby mastering the restarts tonight. He is just rolling away from these guys. He had half a second when we got back to the line. 6 to go. Oh, he clips the infield tire. That's going to change everything. There's the opening that Schrum needed. Now, can Schrum hang on and keep the Kiwi Conqueror behind him for the next 6 laps? Silby got a little too close to the inside. Good battle shaping up here. That time Silby got around him. Off the bottom, and the bottom's starting to come back. Here comes Craig Silby. Leads them down the backstretch. Half a car into 3 and 4. 4 to go this time. Schrum right on the ragged edge at the top. Silby clears him by 2 car lengths. Krikorian still third. Gerlach still fighting to get 4th. Now Silby really starting to get away. Has built it out to over 3/10. 3 to go this time. There's our big crash. Andrew Smith. And Andrew Smith in a lot of trouble back here. 33. Out of 2 looks pretty good coming down the back stretch into 3 and 4. Oh, yeah, he just got a little wide. Right rear hopped up over the curve, a little bike action, and you don't get to enjoy that ride. So we're going to have 3 to go, it looks like, for our shootout. And Silby made a mistake. Lost the lead for a couple of laps right there. Went down to the bottom and made it all work again. Retakes it. So Silby, Schrum, Krikorian, Gerlach, and Barlow still the top 5. There is Thibaut Brandon up to 6. And I think he's just going to run out of time before he can make up the rest of the real estate, unless something drastic happens here. Through 3 and 4, Silby. Another pretty good start. Everybody was trying to time him up. He kind of hitched and waited. Here comes Krikorian trying to take 2nd away from Schrum, and he's going to have a good shot off the bottom to do that. Go to the wide shot. 2 to go this time, and it looks like Krikorian using the bottom. He's going to have 2nd that time at the line. He is following right in the tire marks of the 7 car. In front of him as Silby shoots down the backstretch. Gerlach looking to work the bottom and see if he can go 2 for 1 right here. He's going to have 4 corners to get it done. As we're on the white flag lap, and that time Schrum by 2 cars for the 2nd spot. Everybody chasing Craig Silby, the Kiwi Conqueror, through 3 and 4, and he's going to go back on top of the podium after last week missing it completely. Going to pick up the win of feature 1. Schrum 2nd, Krikorian 3rd. So good run for these guys. Pretty good feature. So we'll wait for Krikorian to come around. Top 3. Be up here with us while we all change servers. Sit patient, hang tight. Give us just a moment. There's Dalton Strum. Let's get David Krikorian. David Krikorian.
What's up?
Oh, just trying to watch a pretty good race here. And 66 car looked pretty good there. You had a couple of challenges, but you were able to fend them off, man. Tell us about that 30 laps.
Yeah, we were okay. Wasn't really great when the track was really, really fresh. I kind of backed everyone up in the heat race. Once the track started slicking off, we kind of evened out. And then once the bottom started working a lot better, we made a lot more headway.
Yeah, it looked like the track kind of changed. And in the pre-feature interview, we talked to Tebow Brandon, and he said he expected the track to go back to the bottom at some point. When did you notice that the bottom was coming back to you guys?
I wouldn't necessarily say I noticed it was coming back. Josh and I are racing pretty good, and we were kind of sort of running a similar line. So I figured let's just throw it on the bottom for a lap and see what happens, and it stuck. So we just let it run down there.
Well,
Turns out, though, apparently I needed to not lift in 3 and 4 running the bottom because I gained about a 10th on that last lap doing it.
Good information to carry into feature number 2, man. What are you expecting out of feature number 2 with just the random draw and a lot different track surface?
I think we'll see. This track, even with the configuration we're running now, I think it'll still gravitate to the bottom more. I think it's going to depend on the starting track state, though, depending on how that goes. That'll probably determine how quick I think the top and middle will burn off.
Well, awesome job, man. Some quick shout-outs before we let you swap servers.
Shout out Reed and Steven, boys of the B team.
All right, man. Thanks for chatting with us. Good luck in race number 2.
Thanks, sir.
David Krikorian finishing in 3rd in feature number 1. Now, this guy has been on the podium, cannot break through and get that win yet, but he finishes 2nd once again. Dalton Strum, how you doing this evening?
Pretty good. How about you?
Pretty good. You changed the color of the car, so I was having a little trouble finding you earlier this evening. New colors, same results. Tell me what you think about that.
Glad still staying with the P2, still on the podium, so glad about that.
Well, when you're chasing points, sometimes it doesn't pay to change a lot of things up, and a paint scheme change is fairly drastic.
Yeah, my dude Cody at Cody Williams Designs gave me my new season 1 wraps for the season. It came out really good.
Well, the track changed quite a bit. You ran the top pretty much, and then late, Sylvie makes a mistake. You get back around him. How do you get back by you?
I don't know. I guess that bottom was juiced up more than I thought it was. Like, I kind of seen it coming in from the car behind me, but wasn't thinking too much about it. And then Sylvie got back by me, and I just said, I'm just going to run my race, stay my line. I don't want to mess up or anything.
Well, an awesome finish nonetheless. Some shout-outs, some thank yous. We'll let you get ready for race number 2 and see if we can keep that podium finish streak alive.
Hot Bottom Industries, Dalton Strum Photography, and Cody Williams Design, and everybody that just helps out with the old 8S crew.
All right, man. Thanks for chatting with us, and good luck in race number 2 this evening.
Thank you.
Dalton Strum once again on the podium. He's finishing P2. And he's getting pretty familiar with being on the podium. This guy's getting pretty familiar with being up in the booth with us. He goes back-to-back 2 weeks ago, a podium last week, and now he's back on top. The Kiwi Conqueror, Craig Silby. Back to your winning ways.
Oh, mate, I'm glad to be back up here with you talking. Yeah, this is a good sign. Must be my new race suit that I've put on my car.
Yeah, well, we saw Dalton Strum changed paints. I mean, maybe something's different, but you look like you got the same sponsors, same color schemes. If you change something up, whatever you did, it's working. It took away the bad juju from last week.
Yeah, last week wasn't too. Yeah, that was one to forget, but that's all right. You get those. It makes these ones that much more fun. Yeah, I was leading there for quite a long time, which it's not too good for me when I do that because I get a bit bored. And as you can see, Dalton was catching me, and I thought, oh yeah, well I'll try the bottom, and then we got the yellow, and then I did try the bottom, and it was like way faster. I thought, oh, and then I hit the inside tire. It's like, oh, good.
Yeah, we wanted to ask you what your thoughts were right then, and we noticed that it made you bear down a little harder because it only took you 2 laps to get the lead back What happened? Was it way stickier than you thought, and the car just kind of turned in better, or what happened to catch that tire?
Yeah, I think that's what it was. It was just like like I think I was doing 16.9s or something around the top, and then I went down the bottom and I straight away did a 16.5 or 6, and I was like, oh, okay.
Well, nonetheless, you recover. You pick up the win in feature 1. What are you expecting in feature number 2, especially with the random starting spots?
Yeah, I'm excited to try that out. That's good fun. Yeah, I just hope I get to pass a few cars, because sitting up front there looks good, but it's not as much fun as passing cars. I'd just really like to thank Concrete Cutting New Zealand and Drilling and Excavating. These guys support me every step of the way, and I'm really proud of that. And Easy Trucks, my business, and Netcode Esports for putting this on, and Dirt Racing Network for broadcasting. Thank you, guys.
All right, man. Good luck in feature 2. Thanks for chatting with us, and we'll see if you can keep your winning ways going here in just a little bit.
Thanks, Ryder. See you soon.
Craig Silby, the Kiwi Conqueror, winning feature number 1 this evening. Well, guys, we are just going to sit here, and we're going to probably grab a couple of drivers. We're going to see if we can get anybody that even feels like talking to us. We're going to swap servers. I would normally play music. Right now, my music app is acting foolish, and it doesn't want to produce sound. So I don't know. Maybe there was a update or something with Windows that messed something up, and I didn't catch it. But I'll have it fixed by the time we come back. Right now, we're going to get ready to swap servers. Let's grab Billy Barros. Billy Barros, Roger Wagner in the booth. You got a copy.
Hey, Roger, how are you?
I am good. Man, you had a heck of a run. You stayed in the top 5 there. Tell us just a little bit about what was going on with the track, what you were seeing, and then let us know what you expect out of that track in feature number 2.
Oh, sure. Yeah, it was a different development than I think we were all expecting the last time we drove here. It was absolutely bottom dominant, so it was nice to see the mid to high line coming in the heats and kind of looking at the same thing starting the feature. And by the end of it, it was 2 lines going, which was a really nice surprise. So hoping we have the same thing this time around, and yeah, it should be fun.
Some good battles going on out there, and very clean racing. The only 2 cautions were really for self-spins. Track just that easy to handle in that feature? What would be different from the last time? Because I remember the last time we were here, it was pretty difficult track to race on. What do you think was really the main difference to let you guys run 2-3 wide and not have problems tonight?
I think a lot of it attributes to this specific group of people, and we're used to running a bit smaller tracks. This is the biggest track we have on the calendar this season, and there's a lot of room here. And I think a lot of the bigger tracks, we kind of tend to throw some nasty sliders thinking we have the space, and it doesn't work out. And this one, I think there's a little bit more respect and different lines, and it works out that way. I'm a fan of this place personally, so I'm happy we're here.
Well, that's awesome, man. What do you think your chances of at least pulling a podium, maybe even keeping old Kiwi Conqueror from sweeping again tonight in feature 2?
Yeah, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? I think I'm starting about row 5 again for the second feature here, and right behind the same guys I just finished behind. So it'll be a lot of work to do better than I did, but I think I can try to challenge them and see if I can get up there, Roger.
All right, man. Well, thanks for chatting with us. Good luck in feature 2. Hopefully we'll get a chance to talk to you at the end of it.
Thanks.
Billy Barros. I think he ran about 5th. And there he's behind Gerlach. So, drivers starting to peel out on the track. We're going to do a couple of things to try to get some pretty paints on the car and get all of our little widgets going. As you can hear the cars in the background making some laps. "30 laps again." They have already made the draw. I have no idea what the starting lineup looks like. Well, I say I don't. I could possibly, I guess. If I go take a peek. And maybe I will do that and try to give you guys some insight into what we're going to be looking at. Let's see if they'll let me have a look at that. Oh, I can't see what we're doing. They're going to random draw for it, so when they roll off, that's when we'll actually know what the lineup is. Until then, we just got to deal with what we got. So, going to be a fun one nonetheless. Let's get back where we can see some drivers on the track. 12 of our 13 made it back in. So the last 5 races, Silby goes back-to-back. Then Brandon goes back-to-back. Now Silby's back on top. Maybe if Tebow wins it, those guys start splitting up wins. One of them will close in on the championship. I think right now Schrum has the points. They haven't been currently updated, but he might have the points lead with all them podium finishes of his. That's got to be at least 7 in a row now, podium finishes. Josh Gerlach, got a copy.
Yes, sir, Roger. What's going on?
Well, feature 1 was pretty interesting. What are we going to do for our track state here for feature number 2?
We're probably going to run about four more minutes of practice and hopefully wear it in just a little bit more. The weather's changed a little bit, so I think it's a little bit warmer outside and might burn the track off a little bit more. But yeah, we're going to finish this practice session off and then head right into our second 30-lap feature tonight. No qualifiers or heat races for this one.
Well, it's been sweep the last 2 weeks, and Silby back up there winning feature number 1. Who's going to come up and stop him? Who's going to keep him from sweeping tonight?
Yeah, he's a guy that can definitely do it. Let me pull up the lineup here real quick. He is firing off fairly towards the front. He's starting 4th in the second race, so he definitely has a good chance of doing it. But we'll see after 30 laps how it goes.
So you're going to go ahead and hit the grid, and on the pace laps, you guys are going to shuffle them up, correct?
We will fire off the way we're gridded. So
okay.
I think when you normally send out the lineup, that is going to be our lineup for this race.
Outstanding. That's good information to have. I couldn't see it in the race session. I tried to jump forward and look and see if the lineup was posted, but it wasn't. So it'll be good to know that we don't have to change anything, don't have to do it twice. So appreciate that. What's 71 car got for feature number 2? You had a pretty good run there. You battled hard to get on the podium very end.
Yeah, I think I have a pretty good car. It's just track position here. These big tracks aren't usually conducive to great midget racing, but I think we had a pretty good track there, good racing in the first session. So honestly, it's just hitting your marks and not losing any momentum. If you lose momentum, you can drop like a rock. So trying to not make any mistakes and keep her clean. And I think going to be shooting for another top 5 here. Hopefully we can get on the podium and talk to you some more.
All right, man. Well, get out there, get you some laps in, have some fun, and hopefully we'll get a chance to speak with you at the end, like you said.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Josh Gerlach. We got a few more minutes here in the warm-up. We're kind of watching David Krikorian. We'll take a look. That's Don Runkle and Colt Collins running together right there. No tripod. I put the camera on him, and then he goes and steps on it. Colton Snyder, bad at first race for Snyder. He just self-spun down there. Clipped the wall pretty hard. He may have gotten some help in turn 2 to get things started, but when you get a little bump in turn 2 and the car's not wrecked until turn 3, a lot of times I'd attribute that to it's just not being able to relax, get the car underneath you and start again. And that may be what happened. I don't know. It may have broken something, but we'll see if he can do a little bit better in race number 2. We talked to Brandon before, and maybe we jinxed him. I don't know, but he started 13th and he came home 6th in feature number 1. He'll get a different starting spot here for this one, and we'll see. Maybe he's the guy that goes up there and keeps Silby from sweeping the night. He swept last week. And 3 out of 6. I would take wins 3 out of 6 times all season long. As a driver, I don't care what series I run in. You're probably going to pick up championship if you can maintain a 50% win ratio. See how much longer they have in the practice session. He said he was going to cut it a little short. 11 of the 12 drivers have taken time. Dalton Strum, the only car to not take time in the practice session. '94 of Colt Collins. He and Josh Gerlach had a pretty good battle. 4th and 5th. Check a big bump starting to develop going into turn 3. That may be the end of the practice session as they get ready to advance us out. We will get ready to run through the starting lineup. And fortuitous for this guy right here. He had a really bad first race. Now he's going to get to start up front. The 24 of Colton Snyder for feature number 2 on the pole. Colt Collins in the 94 on his outside. It'll be Craig Silby inside of row number 2. He'll be next to David Krikorian. Krikorian in the 66. 2 of Robert Lynn inside of row number 3, and Josh Gerlach, the 71, going to start inside that top 6. So good spot for a bunch of these guys. Tebow Brandon doesn't have to start out back. So he will start 7th in feature number 2, and he'll have Billy Barros on his outside in the 38 car. The 08, DL Lemon inside of row number 5, and Dalton Schrum, the 8S, will be on his outside. So Schrum finished 2nd in feature number 1, will start 10th in feature number 2. Kurt Vincent, the 42, and Don Runkle, the 00, going to make up the last row. 30 more laps. Will probably go by relatively quick. Pace truck into the infield. That means green out of turn number 4. Snyder and Silby. Silby now to the front row, and Robert Lynn scoots up. Oh, there's a lot of shuffling going on. Snyder on the throttle, green flag in the air. Snyder to the top side. Silby goes downstairs. Silby's going to cross it over. Not going to have enough momentum to hang on. But can he work it at a turn number 4 and lead lap number 1? Yes, he does. Picks up where he left off. Colt Snyder. Sliding back to the 2nd spot, Robert Lynn. Starting off feature number 2 very well. He's firmly into 3rd. It's a big gaggle of cars behind that. And we got incident. Dalton Schrum having problems. I think he and Barros are going to get together down here in 3 and 4. Into the corner. Oh, it's he and Gerlach. Barros was just right there. So Schrum and Gerlach. And both able to continue. And I think Gerlach got in the corner a little hot. was going to cut it down. Barros was there. He had to wait on the throttle. The car got a little squirrely, and Schrum probably had nowhere to go. And then Andrew Smith rolling out, and Smith is a lap down. He was in the pits for something, but I think we're getting ready to go back to green here. His pace truck is in. And we'll see. Silby said he gets bored when he's out in front. Well, he's there again. He got a great start on Snyder. Robert Lynn, real good restart. The top three have broken away by about 7-8 car lengths over fourth place David Krikorian. Krikorian third in feature number 1. Now running fourth and trying to go back-to-back podiums here. We'll go back and look. Gerlach shot between cars a second ago as somebody got out of shape. I think it was Colt Collins that got out of shape, and Gerlach, evasive action, picks up a spot. Now he's working on the outside of Smith. Smith able to find some bite off the bottom or two. Now goes across, and now the crossover. There's what Gerlach wanted to do. He wanted to get to the bottom. Out of 4, there's plenty of grip right there, and he surges past, moving up to the 9th spot. Still chasing Dalton Schrum. Schrum up to 8th. Schrum went after Lemon. Showed him that he was there. We'll see if we can force a mistake out of the 08 car right now. DL Lemon hanging tough. Krikorian and Brandon going at it, and Brandon's going to get the better of that deal. Now Billy Morrow's trying to move Krikorian back a spot. Silby only 0.6 of a second in front of Snyder, and he had built a pretty sizable lead after 6-7 laps of the last feature. Oh, car backwards. DL Lemon. Let's go see what happened to DL here. Gerlach right there. Gerlach gives him space now. Into the corner, got pinned down just a little bit. Car to your left. He's going to flip the 360, and I think he's going to be okay. Yeah, he's rolling. He's coming out of 2. He's going to join the back of the field. So Silby, Snyder, Lynn, Brandon, Krikorian, Barros, Gerlach, Vincent, Collins, Runkle, Schrum, and Lemon. As I think Schrum going to the back for the contact there as he pinched off the right front of DL Lemon. Get the field settled. They'll go one more time around. Should put the lights out on the pace truck this time. One to go signal from the starter stand. 22 laps remaining. Feature 2 for the Netcode ESports Mighty Midgets from the dirt track at Charlotte. Somebody just took it off in the pits. I think that was DL Lemon. That car must have damage because he just shot off into the pits. Green flag back in the air. Let's go to the back. These guys already starting to slice and dice right here. Smith trying to stay in front of these guys. Silby out in front now. Snyder and Brandon going at it. And Brandon backed off wisely right there. Caution again. Colt Collins has an issue. Colt Collins right here. Number 94, the black car with the blue cage. Oh, and Don Runkle's car was blinking around a little bit. I think there was some contact, and it just got him sideways enough. Really shouldn't even be a caution for that. So a little different start to this one than we had in feature number 1. We had 2 total cautions. Feature number 1, we're already working caution number 3, and we're 10 laps into this. Quick yellow, lights already off on the pace chart.
Green flag, green
Sylvie
flag.
from the top shelf gets the start. He's got about 4 car lengths. Oh, Snyder out of shape. Yeah, he got the car out of shape. There was nothing Robert Lynn could do right there. Absolutely nothing. Well, watch on this restart. You watch the 24. He just gets in there. The right rear just kind of fails to bite. He goes way sideways, slows way down. Robert Lynn had guys right up the backside of him, and he had nowhere to go. He could not just slam on the brakes. So. There goes Andrew Smith as he'll get back to the back of the field. Should put him back on the lead lap, I think. Brandon, Barros, Lemon, all in the pit right now. So Brandon will not be the guy that stops the sweep. It's going to be up to somebody else. David Krikorian, Kurt Vincent, Don Runkle, Colt Collins, your top 5, Josh Gerlach in 6th, then Snyder, Schrum, Lynn, and Smith behind that. It'll take just a minute for scoring to update once we get back to the green. But Brandon, Barros, and Lemon all sitting in the pits down there in the infield. So Greg Sylvie once again with a restart. 19 laps remaining. Runkle got his hands full right now. 71 to Gerlach looking to the inside, going to try to take the spot away. He's going to fight back on the top side, and Gerlach had it at the lines, but Gerlach up to 4th. Runkle still working on that 5th spot. He's got company here. Comes Colton Snyder. 24 car down at the bottom, and as long as he's running the top, I think he's just going to keep falling further and further back. That time Snyder with a mistake in 2, and Runkle uses the high side to go back around. We're going to have a battle up here. Gerlach is going to go after Vincent for the podium spot. The final one, that's 3rd, and it changes hands going into turns 1 and 2. Sylvie, 0.6 of a second in front of Krikorian. Krikorian, good run in feature 1. Looks like he's having another good run in feature 2. Now Gerlach gets around Vincent, move Vincent to 4th, and Colton Snyder finally got around Runkle, and he's trying to make his way into a podium position, but here comes Dalton Schrum. He's going to work his way back to the field. Schrum past Lynn, now he's got Andrew Smith in front of him. He's working the top side. Runkle, there's a caution. I think Robert Lynn maybe had an issue that time. And we'll go down here and we'll look and see if Robert Lynn, the 2 car down on the bottom right here, doesn't catch a tire in the infield. Oh no, car in front of him. That was Andrew Smith caught it. And once again, Robert Lynn with nowhere to go, and just Robert Lynn is a victim of so many weird incidents. nothing to do with whatever he's doing. He just ends up wrecked because something is in his way that shouldn't be there. So caution number 5. Going to have 12 to go. We get the green. Greg Silby once again out in front. He's got David Krikorian chasing him this time. Gerlach's up to 3rd. Vincent's 4th. Snyder 5th. Schrum 6th. Then Runkle, Collins, and I don't know, is Smith still out there? Yeah, Andrew Smith still showing a lap down. He is still out there. He's running in the nice spot as Robert Lynn now has taken his, and that might be it for Andrew Smith. As the 2 caution rule will park the 33 machine. So 8 cars remaining. All right, green this time. 12 laps remaining. This time, Silby quickly to the throttle, middle of the corner. Krikorian trying to keep pace. Gerlach behind that. Now Vincent and Snyder looking like they want to do a little tete-a-tete here. Snyder to the top. Vincent stays on the bottom. Here comes Dalton Schrum. Schrum now going to challenge for the 5th spot. Falls back a little ways. Now a big drive down into 3. And Snyder had the door shut on the slider line. Snyder way up high, keeps it wound up. He's going to keep the spot. He cannot get around Kurt Vincent, but he's not giving up a lot to Schrum. Now Vincent with a little twitch in the middle of 3 and 4, and that lets Snyder get a whole lot closer. Silby 0.6 of a second over Krikorian. Gerlach a second behind the leader. We're watching the battle behind that. Vincent's got the spot, trying to hang on to it. Opens the door to the bottom. And Snyder goes through. Colton Snyder up to 4th. Now Vincent fights back in 1 and 2, and he takes the spot right back, and he's got Dalton Schrum in tow. Snyder may give up 2 spots. Great battle right here. Snyder up high. Vincent and Schrum down low. 4th, 5th, and 6th. This time the crossover, and Snyder not able to get the power fully down, so he gives up the spot to Vincent. And Schrum goes right up to the top shelf. Best battle on the track by far right here. Snyder side by side with Vincent. We're coming down to 4 to go. It's 0.8 of a second for Silby. This battle, 4th and 5th. 6th place car of Schrum right there. And Vincent, big mistake. He's going to find the tire. He's going to the infield. I don't think we're getting a caution out of that because the car is on the infield. So, Snyder 4th, Schrum 5th, Collins in 6th. Let's go look at the leader. He is checking out, folks. 3 to go. That time it's going to be hard to catch him. He'll have to make a mistake. The top 3 have broken away from 4th place Colton Snyder. Silby sees the popsicle sticks. 2 to go. Krikorian still 2nd. Gerlach still 3rd. Gerlach's got about 0.7 of a second over Snyder. The white flag is out. Feature number 2 coming to a close, and it's looking like a sweep once again as Craig Silby, the Kiwi Conqueror, comes to Charlotte. Sticks his sword right through the heart of the track and says, I'll take 2, please. Back to back for him. Krikorian second. Gerlach with a podium finish, improving on his 4th place finish from feature number 1. So we'll wait for the drivers to come around. Oh, I certainly hope that Mr. Gerlach did not take his car off the track. Well, he runs the show over here for this deal, and he knows what one of the cardinal rules is. And he's going to be in more trouble than he knows how to get out of. Josh Gerlach, what are you thinking?
My brains are a little scrambled after getting hit after the checkered flag. I don't know where I'm at, Roger.
Well, we'll talk to you from the safety crew ambulance down there. A spot improved. You finished on the podium. A little different feature in feature number 2 under the lights.
Yeah, it was an eventful race. A lot of contact, a lot of craziness, but ended up on the podium like I was hoping. So can't complain too much.
No, and it looked like the track was vastly different than it was in feature number 1. Was it because of the temperature change, or what? Did you guys get it worked in a little bit different?
Yeah, the track, we just didn't have as many laps on it, for one, I don't think, just because we didn't have the heat races or anything like that, and it was a little warmer. And yeah, it did wear in a little weirder than we had in that first session. Didn't get quite as wide as I was expecting it to with the higher temp, but still had some decent racing, I think. Craig is just really good, and when you get him starting up front, it's hard to pass him.
Well, another good night for the 71 machine men, 4th and a 3rd. Some shout-outs, some thank yous, and we'll let you go do your admin business.
Appreciate it. Yeah, just want to thank everybody for coming out and supporting us every week, and you for putting on our broadcasts. It means a lot. Want to thank Methanol Moonshine. There is going to be a live show here on the Methanol Moonshine Facebook and Twitter pages at Methanol Moonshine on Facebook and Methanol Shine on Twitter tonight with NHRA driver Buddy Hull. Check that out. Thanks to Unknown Agency, Netcode ESports, AlwaysRaceDay.com, and everybody at Dizzy Motorsports for putting up with me.
All right, man.
Thanks, Roger.
Thanks for chatting with us, and we'll see you next week.
Week after. We're off
week
next
after,
week.
that's right. All right, man.
Yeah. Take care, man.
See ya. Josh Gerlach, let's get David Krikorian in. I don't see Mr. Krikorian's car on the track, but it could just be that I'm silly and I missed it. There it is. David Krikorian 3rd and 2nd. 66 car looking good.
Yeah, first time I've had 3 straight podiums in a while. Dalton had a little problem, so at least we made up some points. We had nothing for Craig. Craig's just really good at keeping the wheel open more than some of us are, and just when it comes to these long sweeping tracks like that just absolutely helps him.
Yeah, and starting him up front probably is, almost the first of the 3 death nails for the thing, and then he's so smooth as number 2, and any mistake from anybody else, because he's probably not going to make one, and that's all it really takes. That guy dominates just about every time, but fun trying to chase him, I'm sure, nonetheless.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I mean, the end result was still good. We made up some points on Dalton, or expanded the points on Dalton. Although we're going into the break, and I actually think the next race is on the 6th, and I think I'm actually missing that night. So let's see how the drop weeks factor out in that.
Well, nonetheless, a great night. A couple podiums for the 66 machine, a few shout-outs, and we're going to let you go celebrate a great, great evening of racing.
Same thing. Shout to Reed, Steven, the B team, Josh for putting this on, everyone else for having a pretty clean night.
All right, man. Well, thanks for chatting with us, and we'll look forward to seeing you when we come back from the break.
All right, thank you.
David Krikorian, he's finishing 2nd tonight, had a 3rd and a 2nd, and a good week for the 66 car. And like you said, he was trying to chase down the points for the leader. And this guy, 4 out of 6. There's not a whole lot you can say. He sweeps 2 weeks ago, takes the week off, lets somebody else have a little glory, comes back and pretty much puts the throttle down and doesn't look back. He picks up 2 wins again tonight. Craig Silby, back up here again, buddy.
Oh, Roger, how exciting is that? That is just so cool. 2 from 2 again. Yeah, mate, I had so much fun.
Yeah, it looked like the track was quite a bit different, but it really didn't slow the 7 car down very much. Tell us what was different between the track in race 1 and race 2 tonight.
Oh, in between races, I gave the nut behind the wheel a few tweaks and tuned it up, and yeah, managed to try and stay off those inside tractor tires.
Oh, did you have a talk with him? Is that what you did?
yeah. Give it a bit of a tighten because it gets a bit loose. That bottom was because there aren't quite as many cars this time, and we not as many laps. The bottom just stayed sticky, and we just had to try and. It was a bit technical. Had to try and stay tidy, and it was definitely changing towards the end. I was running out of ideas, but we got it done.
Well, an awesome run nonetheless. You sweep again, which means when we come back from the break, I'm pretty sure you're going to be the hot shoe, and that first feature you're going to have to start at the back. What do you think about that?
Oh, I really like that. That's cool because then I got some cars to pass. So, I'm looking forward to that. And, so enjoy the break, and I'm sure we'll get to talk again.
All right, man. Some shout-outs and thank yous before we let you get out of here again.
Once again, Concut Concrete Cutting from Christchurch in New Zealand. Those guys are just amazing. They support us a lot. And Easy Trucks New Zealand, Netcode ESports, Robert and Josh just put so much effort into this series, and it shows. We put on a pretty good show, I think. And Dirt Racing Network, you guys present it for the world to see, and we look really flash. So I'm really enjoying it, and looking forward to the next couple of weeks.
All right, man. Thanks for chatting with us. Congrats on sweeping the night again, and we'll look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks.
Thank you.
Greg Silby sweeping it again. Man, the guy, like I said, he's hard to beat. You put him up front when you start him. You give him some clean track, and unless he gets bored and makes a big mistake, he's going to be really, really hard to beat. So, awesome run. Feature 2, our results looked like this. Silby, Krikorian, Gerlach, the top 3. Then Snyder. Schrum with a good run through the field. Started at the back, worked his way up to 5th. Collins, Runkle, Vincent, Brandon, Barros, Lemon, Lynn, and Smith rounding things out. Was a good night. Other than Dalton Schrum breaking up his super long string of podium finishes, everybody that's at the front's been at the front for the last few weeks. So the racing here, pretty good. It's a great group. These guys keep things pretty clean. I think there was just a little bit of strangeness with the track being so tacky. Guys were doing things they wouldn't normally do because they're used to racing on the slick, and that's why we had so much contact tonight. But a lot of fun nonetheless. Hope you guys enjoyed watching it. I know I enjoyed putting it on. We're off next week. We'll be back on the 6th. Should be a lot of fun. We'll have a points update. We'll know where everything's going as we get into the last few weeks of the season. I think they only have 3 weeks left. So we take a break, and then we go 6, 13, and 20. And I think that wraps up the season for 2023A. But it's been a lot of fun. Look for some announcements on the Facebook page as things start to shift into high gear and we start to add some stuff, change some stuff, and move some stuff around. Maybe some rebranding of the entire network. We'll see where that takes us. But I appreciate everybody tuning in, guys. Thanks for taking the time to sit down and watch. Without you guys, none of this is worth doing. So we appreciate you very much. Thanks for spending your time.